this episode of In the Fight. Soldiers head out into the desert looking to stop attacks on their forward operating base. NATO countries train to aid one of its allies. Members of the 2nd Stryker Brigade work on their combat readiness. Marines field test some exciting new technologies. And service members learn to rely on their hands for attack and defense. Although attacks on forward operating bases are down, there's one base that continues to receive rocket attacks from insurgents. Army Staff Sergeant Josh Lively hikes out into the desert with soldiers from Fort Drum, New York, in hopes of putting an end to this threat.
Fobshank is also known as Rocket City. From the past 2 years, Fobshank has received the most indirect fire out of any other FOB, DSP, AP in Afghanistan.
Because of this, the 10th Mountain Division, 3rd Brigade Combat Team, 287th Infantry, Apache Company, headed out on a patrol to disrupt and decrease the amount of IDF or indirect fire aimed at forward operating base Shank.
Our main mission today was the area we're going to. The biggest threat to the FOB was rockets landing on the airfield. We went down there to interdict them at a certain time.
It was a partner patrol, was not unilateral, so we had ANSAF with us, specifically an ANA Kandak Recce Tolai, which is pretty much a recon company. So we linked up with their leadership. ANA received us for the mission, so we were there to support them for their clearance, disruption, and interdiction operations.
We were there to provide some over-the-shoulder support, but in all reality, they probably could have done today without us, which is exactly what needs to happen, given the future of Afghanistan with respect to American involvement.
Perfect, thank you very much.
ANSAF, the Recce Tolai, pushed in, found a cache of weapons, specifically indirect fire weapons. They had their own internal EOD with them. They bipped those weapons. It was flawless, you couldn't ask for more.
Reporting from Fobshank, Afghanistan, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Josh Lovely.
A Herat-based Security Force Advise and Assist Team, or SVAT, took Afghan forces on a long convoy ride out to the border of Turkmenistan. Army Sergeant David Ogden rode along to find out what they were up to and files this report.
Along Afghanistan's Highway 8, a group of Army Reserve soldier advisors based on Camp Arena convoy through the Toragundi Pass to an Afghan border police post near the edge of Turkmenistan.
Today was a joint operation with the Afghan Border Police as well as the Afghan National Army. This was put together by the commander of the 207th Corps of the Afghan National Army.
After meeting with local leaders, SVAT team members make their way out to the staging area to talk to the soldiers going out on the joint operation.
I wish you all the best of luck today. And good luck.
After the brief conversation, the ANA and ABP teams mount their vehicles and drive off to continue to ensure the security of their country. Reporting from Toragundi, Afghanistan, I'm Sergeant David Ogden.
NATO countries are ready to assist each other at a moment's notice should an ally come under attack. In order to ensure success, NATO countries take part in continuous and extreme training exercises. NATO Channel correspondent Mike Muehlberger brings us this story.
The USS Mount Whitney is sailing into the Mediterranean Sea as Captain Craig Clapperton and his crew navigate through the Strait of Gibraltar. Below deck, more than 200 personnel from all NATO countries are conducting a simulated command and control exercise set in the Baltics. Exercise Trident Jaguar 2014 is aimed at training NATO's core task, collective defense, in an Article 5 mission.
An attack on one is an attack on all, and in this case, all came together in order to defend that one. And I think that's an important thing that we revisit on an annual basis in NATO. It's reassuring to everybody across the alliance and certainly sends a strong message throughout the globe that we are together.
The Baltic scenario for this exercise was developed over a year ago. It involves the alliance coming to the aid of NATO member Estonia, which has been attacked by a fictitious enemy. Navy, Marine and Air Force officers plan and command operations together. They must deal with a scenario that constantly keeps throwing new challenges at them, creating a highly realistic training environment which includes simulated newscasts. Professional journalists create a diverse media landscape. It includes daily newscasts, web articles and social media posts, all of which force the exercise participants to take public opinion into account at every stage. The public affairs officers are under constant pressure to respond fast to media inquiries and explain the purpose of the mission.
We hit them a lot of time in their offensive capacity.
Captain Cindy Feller is the medical advisor in this exercise. Together with her team, she must plan how to mitigate medical risk and advise the commander accordingly as he plans the operation.
It's our job to ensure that there's a medical plan to have as close to the fighting as possible so we can take care of our alliance soldiers, sailors, Marines, and get them to medical care within that golden hour.
Everyone in the exercise is here to learn and practice working together as a team with experts from all NATO countries.
We've achieved the milestones that we need to achieve that would take us to our ultimate strategic objective.
And that objective is for Strike Force NATO to demonstrate that it's ready to command forces in all 4 domains, air, land, sea and cyber, from this joint headquarters at sea. I'm Mike Mühlberger reporting for the NATO channel from the Mediterranean Sea.
Hi, I'm Major Adrian Meyer with the 187th Fighter Wing in Montgomery, Alabama, deployed at Bagram Air Base, Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. I just want to say thank you for the support and well wishes to my friends and family in Burlington, Vermont. I look forward to a safe and happy return soon.
Hi, my name is Ayanna Morales Cayley, United States Army, G4, U.S. Arson. And I would like to give a shout out to my husband, Sean Cayley, my son, Keith Anthony, and my mom. Love you guys.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Melinda Smith from the 379th Comptroller Squadron here at IUD Air Base. I wanted to send a shout out to my mom, Dolores Schellenberg in Kaiser, West Virginia. I love and I miss you and I pray for you every day.
Howdy, my name is First Lieutenant Daniel W. Dick. I'm stationed out of Fort Bliss, Texas with 343 Air Defense Artillery, currently deployed to Al Udeid Air Base, Qatar. I want to say hello to my mother and father, Robert and Lynette Dick, and want to say thank you very much and love you. God bless.
Coming up, members of the 2nd Stryker Brigade work on their combat readiness. And Marines field test some exciting new technologies. Check out DivotsHub.net for the latest accurate and reliable information as In the Fight continues. Which country is not a part of the NATO alliance? The answer when we return.
I lost my brother Frank in the Battle of Iwo Jima.
He served on 4 combat tours in Vietnam,
in Iraq, Afghanistan. There's a life that was lost behind that pin.
I put it on for my wife.
For my husband, my brother,
My dad.
my son.
We wear it because we honor those that we lost.
To learn more about the stories behind the Gold Star Pins, visit goldstarpins.org.
With the new Military 24/7 app from Divots, you turn your favorite mobile device into a window to the front lines. Connect with your nation's finest men and women through our video and photography archives and stay up to date with news reported directly from service members. Quickly share information and breaking stories with friends via Facebook, Twitter, or email. News, photos, video. Your military 24/7.
When you put on the uniform, you are held to a higher standard.
A lot of times, you're not going to know what's going to be thrown at you, so you need to be ready for anything.
Stress can affect every Marine and Marine family.
It's very hard for me to have a career when we're always moving around.
We have the same bills that everybody else does.
And you never want to let your staff NCOs down.
The De-Stress Line provides anonymous counseling for Marines and Marine families when it's needed most. It takes courage to ask for help. Call today and let us help you win your personal battles.
Which country is not a part of the NATO alliance? The answer is A, Turkmenistan. When the 2nd Stryker Brigade combat team headed to Fort Irwin's National Training Center, they knew they were in for some tough training. Army broadcasting correspondent Gail McCabe caught up with the brigade commander and brings us this report.
But if you look at the close fight here, on the left-hand side, there's an infantry battalion on this side.
Colonel Lou Ziesman says the soldiers of the 2nd Stryker Brigade Combat Team, 2nd Infantry Division, the 2-2, are ready.
And if I do my job, the battalions will do the close fight, and we'll use our Apaches to slowly kill the enemy.
Training Rotation 1408 at Fort Irwin's National Training Center is where the 2-2 is refining their combat readiness, their ability as a brigade to respond to any mission. Ziesman says for his purposes, the wide-open expanse of NTC is priceless.
I'm a Stryker Brigade combat team. I have multiple enablers that will come with me. Here in the desert, we have the ability to synchronize all those on a common fight. So I have UAVs in the air, I have fixed wing in the air, I have my artillery, I got my engineers. This desert allows us to see ourselves and see what we need to work on.
Home station for the 2-2 is the cooler climate of Joint Base Lewis McChord. NTC is in the Mojave Desert. Adapting to life in the box is lesson number 1.
Coming from Joint Base Lewis McChord, where the high temperature was in the 70s, well, we show up here to Fort Irwin and it's 100 degrees. So as you can imagine, just a temperature challenge.
Challenges at NTC are developed with the unit in mind. For the 2-2, it's decisive action, honing the basics, sharpening skills across the board.
The Army allows us to come here. We don't take it for granted when resources are tight, and so it's not a game. It's absolutely a way for us to see ourselves, our resources, our people, and we need to get better.
The brigade is in the box for 2 weeks. When they leave, they'll have achieved their highest level of readiness.
We have to get better, because the next time we're called, it could be for real.
Gail McCabe, Fort Irwin.
Advances in technology are giving the Marines the ability to put a new twist on an old system of supplying the troops. Marine Lance Corporal Travis Gershanik explains in this report.
Rotor blades churn as 34,000 pounds of machinery come to life on Marine Corps Air Station Yuma's flight deck. Inside the CH-53 Echo Super Stallion, the largest and heaviest helicopter in the United States military, are crew members with Marine Operational Test and Evaluation Squadron 22 from Marine Corps Air Station New River, North Carolina. With assistance from 1st Marine Logistics Group, they will test a new technology at the Yuma Proving Grounds that will change the future of aerial resupply.
The JPADS is the Joint Precision Airdrop System. It's a series of palletized loads with parachutes on them that are guided via GPS inputs to very precise locations on the ground. What it's going to give us the capability of doing is to fly outside the weapons engagement zone of many common threats while still being able to provide assault support to the ground combat element on the ground.
The biggest challenge with the JPAD system is it's not something that I've seen anywhere else in the fleet, especially on a helicopter. The CH-53 doing aerial delivery is very unique. It's not something I've seen anywhere before. VMX-22's mission and entire purpose in being is to test new items coming through the fleet. Once they've been validated, VMX-22 will then take that, test some of their limits, and figure out how to properly employ it.
Crowd easy for drop number 535. Aircraft is trying to climb to 10,000 feet for this. They are cleared to drop. 1 minute out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Low clear.
The character of this operation falls right into what VMX-22 does on a regular basis, and how their mission will grow when the squadron arrives at MCAS Yuma next year. Lance Corporal Gershanik, Marine Corps Air Station Yuma.
Advanced weaponry gives the military its edge over the enemy. But any weapon is only as effective as the person operating it. Army Specialist Pedro Amador brings us this story.
17+8! Ammunition of different caliber rains down on Rodriguez Range, while soldiers from the 1st Battalion, 12th Cavalry Regiment conduct a crew and collective gunnery as part of their 9-month tour in the Republic of Korea. This combined live fire is the bread and butter of what this cavalry unit does, and one platoon sergeant explains why his crew is combat ready.
Pretty outstanding crew. We shot Distinguished on gunnery, gun table 6. It shocks the senses for the soldiers to experience all this firepower happening at the same time with the air assets, indirect, the Bradleys firing, the squads firing on the ground. It really shocks their senses, and that's a good thing. It gets them as close as we can to a real-life scenario without, a two-way live fire with the enemy actually shooting back at us.
Sergeant First Class Wolford has been in the Army a year or two.
I have been 11 Bravo for 13 years now.
And those who know him well know that things move smoother because of him.
He has a lot of experience, and he's definitely helped me out. He's my principal advisor.
Training soldiers is Sergeant Wolford's priority, and in his platoon, everyone is ready to fight tonight. Specialist Pedro Amador, Camp Casey, Korea.
One of the great things about the military is its willingness to adopt new technologies for the field. Air Force Master Sergeant Ryan Cruz takes us to the Advanced Warfighting Experiment to see how the Marine Corps is testing some of these exciting new technologies.
Marines at the Kahuku training area are field testing new technology. This is the Legged Squad Support System, or LS3. It can carry up to 400 pounds of equipment and travel up to 20 miles. These Marines are trying out the Ground Unmanned Support Surrogate, better known as GUS.
In general, the concept is there. It's a good idea, especially for patrolling, where we use it primarily for patrolling and resupplying. It's pretty good in that you can just walk along with it and you still have your rifle out while it follows you, and you don't waste a driver.
Bringing it out to the field, watching them use it, see what problems they encounter, the feedback that they give us is invaluable to making these things better.
During their patrol, the Marines were ambushed. One was killed and another lost both legs.
1, 2, 3. Doc, he's coming to you!
Using the new technology that we have, the Tempest Pro, I was able to send direct feedback to the shock trauma platoon. It's lightweight, streamlined, very easy to use.
It's another piece of gear being tested that could be the difference between life and death.
With the direct text or voice capability, I'm able to stay in direct contact and they can just walk me through steps that I would need to provide for my patient.
The experimental equipment came from ideas that began in the Marine Corps' Warfighting Laboratory in Quantico, Virginia. Master Sergeant Ryan Cruz, Kahuku Training Area, Hawaii.
Hi, this is Captain Dave Madison from the 379th Expeditionary Air Medical Evacuation Squadron at Al Udeid Air Force Base in Qatar. I just want to say hi to all of my friends and family back home in Erie, Pennsylvania. I love you and miss you and can't wait to see you for the holidays.
Hi, my name is Master Sergeant Alberto Cadiz. I'm here in Camp Arifka in Kuwait. I would like to send a shout out to my beautiful wife and kids, Ariana, Nathanael, and Misael, back in Hartford, Connecticut. Mom, Dad, hi, love you, miss you.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Melissa Calloway from Westmoreland County, Virginia. I'm stationed here at Al Udeid Air Base with the 379th Maintenance Group. I'd like to give a warm shout out to my husband Jeff and my friends and family back at home. Love you guys, I'll see y'all soon.
Coming up, sailors learn how to survive in a sinking ship. And we'll showcase some of the best photos from our service members as In the Fight, presented by Divots, continues. What was the first aircraft carrier in the U.S. Navy? The answer when we return.
I want to give a shout out to my family and friends.
I want to send a shout out to my husband,
to my parents,
My family back home.
I'd like to give a shout out to my girlfriend.
To my family and friends in Lansing, Michigan.
To my family out in Tucson, Arizona.
My beautiful wife and children in Des Moines, Iowa.
To everybody in Texas.
In York, Pennsylvania.
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Chicago, Illinois.
Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Orlando, Florida. Oceanside, California.
And Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
I love you guys. I miss you. And I hope I'll see you soon.
Training is about more than muscle. It's about inner strength. So I push myself. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. I train with the best, a team that shares my drive and commitment. We collect intelligence, guard our shores against drug smugglers, and keep our waterways safe, because our nation expects more.
If you expect more, maybe you were born ready. Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
What was the first aircraft carrier in the U.S. Navy? The answer is D, USS Langley. Imagine that you're on a ship that is being attacked and is on fire or taking on water. What do? Senior Airman Brandy Durr shows us in this report.
The sailors are learning new skills from their Royal Malaysian Navy counterparts. But first, things are going to heat up a little bit.
Today they're doing damage control and firefighting training, as what we can see here.
You'll see the fire done.
When I entered in, I didn't know what to expect. I've gone on air before, but I've never gone on air with actual smoke. You couldn't see anything, but the adrenaline rush, once you're in there, you know what your mission is, you want to complete it. It's great to have the guys with me in there just root me on. I haven't even been maybe a year yet, so I feel very blessed and privileged to be out here experiencing the different types of culture, just everything in general, learning what they have to offer us and then doing the same in return. So it's an awesome experience.
I can say the cooperation is quite encouraging. So I can see a lot huge difference, and which maybe we can adopt it.
Their Navy partners also introduced the sailors to the rocking simulator for the first time.
It was very fun, especially when the ship started rocking. I love that part.
What they learned in the simulator could possibly save their lives one day.
Basically, if there's a hole in the bulkhead, what we do is we try to erect some type of shore that goes over the hole or in the hole to stop or slow down progressive flooding. I believe that it's a very good thing that we're working together and coinciding with the Malaysian Navy. I believe it builds strong ties between our country and their country, and basically to show that all damage control is pretty much the same. We're just trying to protect the ship.
Senior Airman Brandy Durr, Lumut, Malaysia.
If a service member is unable to use his or her weapon, they must be able to rely on their hands to defend and attack. Army Staff Sergeant Lindsey Prax takes us to the mat in this report.
The Option 3 drill is to close the distance and engage that enemy.
My name is Staff Sergeant Jeffrey Yerk. I am, along with Staff Sergeant Contreras, running some level 1 and 2 combative certification courses here in Kandahar, Afghanistan. The level 1 course is a 40-hour course. It's designed to give the very basics of the Warrior Corps task and drills of react to man-to-man contact.
You get in there, you don't let go.
Today consisted of teaching clinch drill, or the Option 3 drill, showing the different positions that they would get to and closing the distance with the enemy. Right at the end of class, they were certified punchers, level 2 soldiers, who were coming in to assist in training for the soldiers going through level 1.
Pretty nervous. They're pretty big guys, my size, so I'm pretty intimidated. But I'm gonna put whatever I learned into this and hopefully not get knocked out. That's my goal.
Come up, come up, come up. All right.
your grip.
They have a choice, every single one of them. They have a choice to close the distance or to quit.
Go, go. Gets the motivation up, gets the morale up when they see a soldier it doesn't seem like they're gonna be able to finish it, and then they come through and they show that they're gonna do what they can to finish this training.
It hurt. Judging by my nose, I took a couple blows, but all in all, it's actually a really good feeling to have accomplished this.
Combatives, it is an opportunity for us to instill the warrior ethos in every single soldier.
It shows the defining characteristics of what a warrior is. And as Sergeant York always likes to state, that the soldiers are part of the warrior caste, and we need to be able to prove and show that we have those characteristics, those defining characteristics that are going to help us finish the fight.
That willingness and ability to close with and engage the enemy. There's nothing more powerful at our core. That is who we are as soldiers.
Divots is a 24/7 operation that provides a timely, accurate, and reliable connection between the media and the military serving worldwide. Through a network of over 200 portable satellite transmitters around the globe and a distribution hub in Atlanta, Georgia, Divots gives you access to the front lines with live and archived broadcast video, still imagery, and print products. Visit our website at divotshub.net and search through our enormous video and photo library. Register on our website to gain complete access to high-definition content, along with breaking news alerts and webcasts from top military officials. For questions or comments about In the Fight or Divots, you can email us at ondemand@divotshub.net or follow us on Twitter and Facebook. As we close, we feature some of the best photos that Divots has to offer, as we listen to Eddie Horst's composition, Pangea. See you next time, In the Fight.